this button and then say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
Good, and you?
I'm swell. I'm absolutely fantastic. So, All Might 7, possibly my favorite All Might. He's so
Yes,
cool.
oh my.
Hit me with the pitch. What do you got rocking with this All Might 7? What are your thoughts here?
My elevator pitch is basically when I watched your All Might, I was thinking, All Might. Now it's Sword Might because of the new promo, and it's coming out soon. So why not try it out and see how it goes?
Makes sense. So hit me with what do you need my help with?
Your experiences, your experience in the game, and I try with my head and everything, how it goes, how it plays. Sometimes I'm little difficulty in between the foundations and the attacks and attack and lineup. See if with your experiences and if you can help me better it, see what I miss, things like that.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I can make that happen. And then here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and looking at all of the cool cards that you could possibly play, right? I'm putting stuff in the sideboard so that we can figure out like what's the best things you could be doing. Man, All Might's mentorship is going to be so nuts. It's going to be very good.
Like I said,
no, thank goodness.
Experimenting with him a bit, see how what goes, what doesn't go, and things like that. So sometimes a headache. Sometimes thinking about it too much.
Yeah, that's fair. That's super fair. Oh, this character's so cool.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. I got a couple ideas for us. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the attacks first, right? First and foremost, I think that your idea of all of these combo weapons is beautiful. It's absolutely fantastic. But I wanna ask you a couple of hard questions about like, should you play this? Should you play this? So on and so forth. Things like Binding Shoulder Rush. Ready's a card that has been readied. Next combo is easier to play. It itself is 6 damage, so it connects with your All Might response, and so you just give it the 2 speed, so it's a 6 mid for 6. Total Erasure Binding. This card has powerful 3, beautiful to be used tactically with things like Needle Stab. I'll discard my 3 cards, snag my 2 momentum. It means this is now a 4 high for 11. Which means on the partial block, you get to draw your 2 cards to replace the 3 that you popped in here. And with All Might, you get to make it a 6 high for 11 as your second card, right? I play this as a 5 high for 6 to maybe draw my 2. And if that doesn't work, here is a 6 high for 11. You just instantly spend your cash. Don't even care about the combo enhance, right? Slashing Whirlwind is a 5 mid for 6 that triggers your thing. Here is a 4 low for 7 or a 6 low for 5. That sometimes is a 3 diff, depending on if you've played a Sugar Rush power up. Create Capture Net is a 2 low for 6 that lets you build cards and possibly draw cards. These are all of the weapons that I could think about when doing this, where like things like Binding Cloth Whiplash, although incredible on its own, right? You are forced to put after you combo enhance, you're forced to put the stats on damage. You have to, because you can't let it be a 5 damage move. You can't let it be a 5 damage move because we want to draw, right? Binding Drop Kick, we're allowed to put the speed on and then discard the card for the damage. That feels fine. Binding Cloth Assault, yes, it's good for consistency's sake, but again, it's still just a 3 mid for 7, right? I'm not allowed to put speed on it unless I find something like a floating or a revel or something along those lines, you know? So my question for you, working together, is: are any of these cards, do they sound enticing at all?
The binding and the ratio is total binding. Never thought of using needle stab with binding as my second attack. I always thought of it as how I get my momentum to do the powerful.
Yeah, we got it.
That.
There it is.
The other thing is discarding 3 cards for 2 momentum for hitting the person or the player for draw. So I'm managing myself for 2 momentum or just kill. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So but with so much possibilities and that's.
Yeah, I like this idea of like needle stab into erasure, and like he just gives +2 speed on both of these ideas. It's very, very cool. So yeah, we'll toss this in here. Did you like rush or slash or cloth capture or capturing net?
The binding, I was playing the few times that I could, but I took it out because it's almost not a starter for the other combo and the combo cards. Where is it? Erasure binding gives 2 attack for the next one, so I can put it in the threshold for the hit. See, the next combo attack gets 3 damage, so it enters the threshold for hitting.
Yeah, so this feels good as the intro. Well, the thing about this is like, even by itself, right? Like as the starter, you say it's a 6 mid for 6 that they have to deal with, as well as just the next one gets -1 difficulty. So playing this as a 4 diff feels good. Playing this as a 4 diff feels good. And they still have to deal with that 6 mid for 6. And if they don't deal with it, right, they take the hit, I'll draw my 2 cards and feel fine about it. And then figure out what, as with the last 7 cards in my hand, what do I do about it, you know?
We shut up and see if it goes in the place. See how it tests.
You're a little quiet now. What'd you say? Say that again.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
We can switch it up, see how it goes, and see it doesn't mess up the blocks and everything.
Yeah, that's fair. At the same time, buddy, it's your deck, right? I'm here just to give you ideas.
No, I know. No,
yeah.
I can. Yes, I know.
Yeah. What do our block zones look like? A lot of mids. How often have you tested this deck? Have you tested it very much?
When I can, yes.
Okay.
But hence the doctor. So
Fair.
see what I miss.
My question is this binding cloth precision? How often are you how are you feeling about this card? Are you getting it? Is it performing how you want it to?
Yeah, in between the third and fifth attack is good because it does. When it hits, it hits. So,
Yeah.
and that's what also made me look at the top card if I can push for an extending or just pausing it. And also, like I said, they also do it with a combo hands to just to see how my check will be.
Yeah. I think
That
that.
one wasn't a start. Expert Fury, just a combo starter.
Yeah. We don't care about the common hands pretty much at all, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, good starter, great starter. And then kind of the other ones we kind of have to have them as they are. I think honestly, like the weakest of the moves that I'm seeing is probably just like Binding Cloth Whiplash, but at the same time, like, you know, it's a move that doesn't count. And so the question, the big question that I have, right, is like, should this be Whiplash or should this be Precision? Right? Like you could cut Precision altogether and just play 4 Whiplash and play 1 more binding, and we would stay here at 22, which I think you were playing 21 and I added this. Or we could do the exact opposite and just like cut these, play the 3 bindings, or play the 4 bindings and then the 1 or the 2 total erasure. Because I think playing 1 erasure just doesn't really make sense because we want to tactically use it with Needle Stab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So put, like you said, put with pressure for binding position to 2, right? You said it?
Do you think Whiplash should be at 4?
Yeah, so
I love it.
less
I think
progressive
Whiplash
difficulty.
Yeah, I think Whiplash is kind of schnutz here.
Less difficulty.
Yeah, you just slam them too low for 7s, and then just like, hey, you got a low block.
Yeah.
Okay, so from here, let's talk about the actions and assets. First and foremost, we've got Erase. This card is just like spot removal, right? I don't like that card. I don't like that card. We'll get rid of it. And then Capture Evildoers to help clear your card pool and do cool stuff. This card's really cool in conjunction with Needle Stab, right? I play Needle Stab. I discard my 3 cards. I slam 2 cards into my momentum. My Needle Stab hits. I draw my card. I play a move. I capture Evildoers, clear my card pool, play another starter, play another whatever, capture Evildoers. Like there's, if I don't have the plus stats, it's just like I get to how many moves can I play, you know?
True. And also a momentum hate.
Yeah.
Is also good in this meta.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
like this card a lot. I probably actually like it more than I like Ruthless Mockery. But I get why Ruthless Mockery is in here, right? I would even like maybe like do like 1 and 1 as just like ideas of like, see what does this card do for you, and then what does this card do for you, and like you could even like sideboard the other copies of both and be like, depending on the situation, if they're a momentum heavy deck, you just like take out the Ruthless and put in a second capture. If they're a string deck, you take out the capture, you put in the other Ruthless and go from there, you know?
True. That is true. See how it goes, test the waters and all that. That's true. Put it sideboard. Never thought about it that way.
Let's move on to foundations, right? First off, convenient timing. This card's insane. I think that this card is better at doing Ruthless Mockery's job than Ruthless Mockery under the all symbol, excuse me. This card, Ruthless Mockery, says my rival's attacks get -2 damage for the rest of the combat phase, which incentivizes them to not attack anymore. Having -1 to their check also incentivizes them not to attack anymore. This card is a foundation that I'm allowed to build in a panic. This card is an action that I am not allowed to build. Talented Baker says that if I draw a card, my moves get more speed, which feels great. chivalrous tactically works with it, public support works with it, and your character works with it. If you can happen to get a hit to land, probably not good enough, just because of like it being so late
the string.
Too late into the string.
Yeah.
Full on attack mode is a lock breaker, which I don't think we have. We don't have a lock breaker, so we probably need to figure out where to put that. I like challenging the fakes inside of all decks. Not very good at blocking, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, like you said once, and when you build a bomb by is, and when you do that, you know the opponent is going to launch everything you had just to hit you with it.
Yeah. And it's cooler whenever you just block it still, right? And you're just like, you put everything into it, and I still make the block. That's where it's red.
Yeah.
Advice for winners, I think, is cracked in your deck, because like the thing that stops you from winning the game is checking a 3. And so Advice for Winners just says that you don't do that. You already slammed us a bunch of stats on stuff, so all you have to do is pass checks. You have to pass attack cards, and Advice for Winners just lets you do that.
Yeah.
And more importantly, and the main reason that I think that All for Might 7 is schnuts is Award the Victor. I think that this card under his 2 symbols is cracked in half, and you should be playing it at a 3 of.
Yeah, that one, I forgot about that one.
Because of the timing of response, flip after, and attack deals damage at the top of your deck. So you respond with Award the Victor, put your cool card on your cool card that did 6 damage. What does 6? We'll say Binding Dropkick, right? Then you respond with All Might, and you draw the Binding Cloth Kick plus a random card, and then your next check has +2. It could be you check a Foundation, it's a 5, 6, 7 with a ward. Insane.
So the wording is basically it hits, you put it, and then you draw.
Yeah,
you
clear the card pool of it, you draw a copy of it, and then you get to sling it again, right? This card is actually really good with that 3 diff that we cut. It feels very, very good with that card.
Never thought about using the Award of Victor.
Yeah, it's very good. And then lastly, just like destined for mainstream success, it's just like making sure that we're good there. So with that, are there any of these foundations that you're like, yes, I like this card?
Okay, Award the Victor.
Or the Victor's going in. I'm gonna make it a 3 of, because I think seeing this card on turn 1 is like the difference between you being a mortal versus like a Super Saiyan.
Yeah. The question is mainstream success, but the question is what do you put it, what do we take out?
So we'll figure out what we take out in a second. I just got to know what we want to put in, and then we can talk about what
Award the Victor and mainstream success.
Award the Victor and mainstream. Love it, love it, love it. Nothing else?
For attack mode, so the lock breaker.
Okay.
So,
makes sense.
those.
Okay, easy peasy. Okay, now let's talk about the stuff I don't like in your deck. First and foremost, Late Riser. This card is not great IMO. I get why it's here. It's taking all of your cool 5 damage moves and pushing them up to 6 whenever you do the thing. But Revel, my masterpiece, does that same thing and powers up Sugar Rush Power Up. I get that this is a 1 diff, but this card doesn't have as good of a block. The other option that we have is to cut things like charging All for One or All Worked Up, in order to make this stuff happen. I think that like this being a 1 diff that like does an okay job at doing its job, and just like playing You're Finished is like probably just better. Or like Late Riser does a very similar job of like full on attack mode of like if it hits they lose 1, you know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, because all that the discarding with needle staff and all that, I thought it was also a good plussing on the thing. In that case, also.
Oh, you know what? That is a fair point, right? Like this thing gets +1 speed. This thing gets +1 speed. Snack time gives it an extra +1 speed. Okay, you know what? You sold me. You sold me. I'm in. I'm in.
Okay, that works.
We don't share 2 symbols with determined, and that's what makes me super sad.
So determine has to work with 2 symbols or just one of them?
2 symbols. If the card you have has 2 symbols with your character, so you could take what symbols this guy got? All chaos. Let's look. So you could take easily excited, right? Because it has all in chaos, and you could use determine to make it a 0 block. But because this card only shares 1 symbol, it only has the all symbol. It does not work with determined.
Oh, so that I thought it was with the character, not with the other cards.
With the card, yeah, it's with the card that you're attempting to block with.
Oh.
If you try to block this attack with an attack or foundation that shares at least 2 symbols with your character, right? So this card, oh, where's it at? This card only shares 1 symbol with your character. So if you were to attempt to block with Late Riser, it'd still be on the 4 as opposed to on the 0.
Because I was thinking also to use a determine block the 3 attacks to rest the character card of the opponent. That's why I would put determine, but I didn't know that worked that way to defend the. It has to exactly match.
Yeah, I think like this card's very, very good at deadlock, but I think that with increasing snack time, it's probably going to be a little bit better at doing its job. I think that like you could cut determined for like 1 more specialist, 1 more mediator, and probably get more value out of that 3rd blocked attempt, you know?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, and then get rid of that guy. Charging all for 1. How do you feel about this card?
Yeah, and a few times it sometimes feels good when I have, and with the lock breaker, it's supposed to be a little bit better now because I'm taking out my foundations for the attack mode. I need to try it out now for the attack mode because nobody or they build for like Virginia or just 6, 9.
Yeah.
I need to test that out a little bit more. But
Sure.
now with the full on attack, it's a full on attack mode now. It's supposed to be a little bit easier to block it.
Okay. How do you feel about public support, just replacing all of these for just Destins? They kind of do the same idea of a job, but this one's a 4 check, this one's a 5 check.
The only reason I put power support is because of with the combined with the right laser with a discard to set +1, +2, and the needle stab, the rip. What was it again? Cross binding and snack time.
Yeah.
That's why I put it a 3 off, or sometimes a 2 off, because it's more speed, a little bit more damage. That's why.
So my issue with this card is I played this card in All Might 2, who gets to just like rip 4 cards off the top of his deck and like finds it all the time, and it still wasn't good enough. It should have been anything else, and he got to like play it. He got to see more cards than anybody and attempt to trigger it more often than anybody, and it just still didn't feel great. Because like it was a 4 check and it was a little random, and like the giving +2 speed +1 damage stun 1 on your move is like, I think that you already have enough stat pumps with All Might plus everything else that like I think what you need is not aggro, but you need is flow to make sure that you can pass all these checks.
Yeah, so that's what I thought about. Yeah, like you said last deck doctor, the block zones and the 4 check, and also normally. Yeah, I think we should take it out.
Yeah, we'll get rid of it.
And put out.
It's gone, and we'll just toss in the 3 destined. I think that's totally chill. So what we got to figure out now is I want more snack time, and I need full on attack mode to at least be at 2 of, right? So I could just slam this at a 2 of, and I want 1 more snack time, right? And I think the way that we get to do this is we get to cut and all worked up. I think this card is cool. I think this card is not that great, truthfully. Not whenever we have this card ignoring progressive. I don't think that we need to have all worked up. I get that it also works with that same idea of discarding, but like, this is a card we want to have built, but this is a card we want to have built more than it, and this is a card we want to have built more than it. Because these cards are playable on every move, and this card is playable one time for its response. You know?
Yeah. All right. Take out worked up and put snack time at 4.
Add a 4 of. It's also like crazy deadlock. It's insane deadlock. Okay, so what does this number look like? We gotta make some cuts, or
it's 66.
66. Okay, I can handle that. I can handle that. Block zones high is our highest, so let's pull some stuff out. Easily gets to be like 1 award the victor, as much as I don't like it. 1 that was 2 mediators. 1 mediator, 1 snack time. Right? Either that, or if you like snack time, we just like cut out one of the second mediator and put them back in the snack time. Right? This could be 4. This could be 2. One's a more aggro card. One's a more defense card. 67. Let's look back at block zones. I get to cut a mid block now. It could just be ruthless. It could be.
The question is how much the mediator can we use defensively? How many spearhead do we have on board?
We got 4 specialists of sound, which is probably all that we need, truthfully. Specialists of sound combined with just like intelligent blocking, and I think you'll be set.
All right, we can put mediator. Yeah, his mediator stays that way. The question is what we take out now.
Yeah, the other option, right, is run it at 67. Right, run it at 67. Play the deck, test the deck, and see what cards you're liking, what you're not liking. Oh, I'm seeing too many easily excited. We'll take one of them out. I'm seeing too many chivalrous competitors. We'll take one out. Your finish is not doing the job that I want it to do. Take one out, right? And this is just like a decent enough starting point for you to figure out where you're at. Yeah. I think it's gonna be this ruthless mockery. If I was a betting man, just because it's a 3 mid block, and I think that like you just like your character already says they don't want to attack a bunch, and so like doing this just says that they also just like. I don't know. This might not. You know?
Yeah, that's a maybe. And also, Lucid Mockery, I can take half damage minus the 2, maybe less damage to less damage for me.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Yeah. Any final thoughts? I think this is probably where I would leave it. I think this deck is very, very cool.
Yeah, and also to try it out. Yeah. And leave it at that. Try it out. What else? Yeah, I can leave it at that and try it out and see how it goes.
I love it. With that said, stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the list, and you have a good rest of your night, okay?
You too.
All right. See you, buddy.